I don't have.
What is up, everybody? We are live for the Running Gun Podcast, Season 10, Episode 13. NBA drafts tonight, and also the title of this is Where Are You Footballs? No, it makes no sense. We'll just call it the NBA draft. Who cares? Teehee.
Oh
I'm just
my
messing.
gosh!
Anyways, I'm Ace. Dude on my which direction is this? That way. Right,
I'm
left,
JPeeps.
or right, whatever.
My cable's not out. I took out my Roku from this room. We're gonna remodel this room after next Wednesday's episode, so this room will hopefully look different. Hopefully, I can record the preseason breakdown videos in this room too, so I won't be out in the hot sun doing half the videos and stuff. So hopefully, it looks a little bit better, a little more newer going forward. But yeah, folks, got a good one lined up for y'all tonight. Yeah, where are you football season? Because it's bad right now. It's bad, man. I'm telling you.
Nah, the NBA draft's good. We got NHL draft this weekend, and then it'll get bad.
I'll share my thoughts later on in the program. But nevertheless, recapping the College World Series and how it ended, of course. A little bit of NBA talk tonight, as well as, yes, the draft talk. Take it or leave it is tonight as well. And also, too, a couple other things that are interesting. SWAC Media Day, teams got announced, so we'll go over like who FAMU's bringing and everything such as that. A couple of trades went down, of course. But, yeah, hot topics will be good, too. So, nevertheless, it'll be a good time, man.
Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, run this intro, and let's get going.
Let's do it.
Hey, this is JPeeps.
This is Ace.
This is Dalton.
And you are listening to
the Run and Gun Podcast.
All right.
I got some ideas for that next season intro. Dalton got onto the intro, and then Dalton was Mr. Sasser was busy. He got busy with life. It kind of sucked.
It happens. But nevertheless, all right. So let's go ahead and dive into it. LSU took down Coastal Carolina 5-3 to win yet. I think it was like the school's 8th national or College World Series, or really national championship. Basically started early. Chanticleer's head coach Kevin Schnall and first base coach Matt Schilling both ejected in the first inning. So right out the gate, I mean, I feel like it was controversial. I feel like it played a huge part in basically how the game was going to go. I mean, Coastal scored first, but I mean, after that, there was just an explosion from LSU. So, did the controversial ejection in the College World Series cost Coastal a national title?
I'm going to be real. I don't think it would have made a whole lot of difference. I don't know. LSU was just moving different. You know what I mean?
They are. I mean, that's a baseball powerhouse. I mean, it's baseball.
You never know. Baseball, it's like one of the sports where you never know. Like momentum does play a big spot. If you get a hot pitcher, you could win a game. Doesn't really matter on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Sometimes the talent difference is just a lot.
Yeah, no, it is. But I will say the talent difference was not big.
No, it wasn't big. But the volume of talent.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean. It was one of those games where, like, I mean, Coastal scored first, and Coastal made it interesting. But it was like that one explosive inning LSU had. Let me go back and look at the box score actually. It was it was the fourth inning, the top of the fourth inning. LSU had 4 runs. Well, and really the third inning too. They had 1 run, but then a 4-run explosion in the fourth inning, top of the fourth. And when Coastal tried to fight back, got 2 runs in the bottom of the seventh, and then after that, their goose was cooked, or should I say, their chicken was fried. No pun intended.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, look, man, when things like that happen, you have to be able to adjust on the fly. They did. Would it have made that big of a difference? I don't know, but I mean, I think we do know Coastal's a consistent threat to the title going forward. They'll continue to be here. I think they'll just go about it a little bit differently and a little bit different with the approach. I also feel like, people didn't want to see the underdog win it this year. People wanted to see the big bad SEC take home another title. And I think the SEC caught a lot of flack, especially early on in the tournament when a lot of their teams were getting sent home after a great run during the regular season. And they needed a win. And this was what they needed.
Especially after the disappointments known as the football season since Jaden Daniels left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's funny? Speaking of that, someone said LSU fans don't get too comfortable because don't forget
football season's right around the corner.
Yeah, and Brian Kelly is basically opening up his season in Death Valley in Clemson. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's right. And I'm like, this man.
You know what it reminds me of? It's the Puss in Boots meme from Puss in Boots 3 when he's turning around and they have a death wolf right there.
I never saw Puss in Boots 3.
Oh.
Coming crazy. But continue. So there's someone that
anyway, yeah. So they're celebrating this win, they're turning around, and guess who's lurking in the shadows, ready to come and reap their soul back?
Just week 1 in general.
Enjoy while you can, because Brian Kelly's coming, and week 1, Brian Kelly week 1 is not very good.
And he's the last 3 years since 2021. 2021, 2022. Or no, my bad. It was 2022. Last 3 years. 2022, yeah. He had the better team. 2023, no. Now last year, they should have beat USC. And you're seeing it. Well, you saw it. I don't know what it is. But hey, you never know. He might shock us. He might. Who knows? But also, we have some news on SWAC Media Day. I included this with college football because, there wasn't much going on in HBCU. There wasn't much going on in the HBCU world. But, SWAC Media Day, July 10th, 10 a.m.
Wrong one.
So
there we go.
Coach Colsey will be going, of course. Bringing defensive end Davion Westmoreland and offensive lineman Ashton Grable with him to SWAC Media Day this year. We got to get to one of these one year. We got to get to one. Hopefully next year, maybe. I would also like to go to SEC Media Day. Those are the 2 media days I would love to go to. But, I'm looking forward to hearing what Coach Colsey has to say. It's a lot of questions.
I am very interested to hear how SWAC Media Day goes for him.
Same. Now, I want to, because we tried to get him on here, I would like to know about, what's the plan on defense? How do you improve that unit? They've been making some great additions this offseason. I want to know, will there be a better standard of tackling? I need to know, who's going to step up at middle linebacker along with Nayron Jenkins. I want to know who's going to be the guy in the secondary this year with, Kendall Bowler gone. So, there's a lot of questions there that I would love to ask and that I hope get asked. So, then, of course, honestly, too, with so many additions at quarterback, I think we know who the guy is going to be. But, I guess also, too, How do you improve that rushing attack? Because I mean, this team didn't score a rushing touchdown until November 1st last year.
That I think that was the biggest, like the tackling. We talked about tackling all year, last year,
Mm-hmm.
but the rushing attack was just non-existent. I know you like lost Terrell Jennings to the NFL and all that, but you should have some level of competent rushing game in order to have a competent offense.
Mm-hmm.
A balanced long term. Once that weather gets cold, you need. Well, I mean, it's not really cold in Florida, but you get like in order for you to have a long year, you need a running game.
70th in the FCS rushing football last year. How do you improve that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. And again, for those that watch the preseason preview that will come out not next month, but in early August, here's some numbers for you. 1 touchdown against Texas State, 1 against Mississippi Valley, 4 in the Florida Classic, 2 against Alabama A&M. What do all those games have in common? They were all played in the month of November. You didn't score till November. So that's what needs to change. So truthfully, hopefully someone asks Ashton Grable about that and Coach Colsey. That's what I want to know. All right. So, and the other thing that happened too, and we're gonna keep it in Tallahassee. Oh, this made headlines.
People, I don't know
if they know.
Hold on, take out the
I can't edit.
ticker at the bottom.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
There you go. So you can see the whole thing. People, I don't know if they know, but if you go back and watch every first game that I played in, we always start fast. I dreamed of moments like this. I dreamed of I dreamed of playing against Alabama. They don't have Nick Saban anymore to save them. I just don't see them stopping me. Nah, bro, buddy, that's the one team you don't trash talk like that.
Exactly. I don't do.
That is literally one of the only. I'd say this. It is one of 2 schools you don't trash talk like that.
Exactly.
Them in Georgia.
Keep your mouth shut.
You could get away with almost every other school, maybe beside Michigan. But when you say stuff like this, that is getting printed up and that's getting posted everywhere in Alabama's university campus. And they will make you regret it.
And the thing is they're coming to Tallahassee. Dude. I love going to Tallahassee. I don't want to be anywhere near Tallahassee. Thank God I'm going to Miami that weekend. I don't want to be anywhere near this drubbing. That's good. I hate to say that about Florida State. I don't want to be anywhere near this homegoing service that's going to take place.
Adam Silver's a bomb. Off topic for the NBA draft, but this is really Adam Silver such a bomb for this. He stopped Shams from spoiling the draft on my phone, so I actually have to tune in to know what's going on in this draft.
Oh,
Rigging the draft wasn't enough. He has to keep it from being spoiled. So, gifting the Mavericks Cooper Flag after gifting the Lakers Luka Doncic. Proceed, though. We'll talk about the NBA and hot topics thoroughly, and I'll have my whole rant on that.
But yeah, I can't. Why would you say something like that?
You give Alabama bulletin material so they can.
Yeah, because it's like Alabama got beat and outwitted in that that ReliaQuest Bowl against Michigan. Michigan is a team that I think will more than likely be in the playoff this year. Alabama, I don't know. We'll see, which is crazy to say. Wow. But now it's like, you know what? This might set the tone for the rest of the season. If they go into Tallahassee and beat them, there's 2 sides to this coin. One side of this coin is, okay, Alabama goes in there, buries them, and walks out, and then that sets the tone for Alabama season and Florida State season. Alabama can go like this, Florida State can go like that. And Mike Norvell has to wear it. And so does Thomas Castellanos. Or the other side of the coin is he says this, and maybe Florida State goes out there and They play inspired football now. Maybe they. Hey, so there are. It's. I'm actually amazed. There's a contingent of people on two sides of the street here. One side of the street is saying,
Bro, I'm gonna be real. I don't want to cut you off here, but I'm gonna say this. Let me show this. Right, I'm gonna just pull this schedule up, and I'll say how lucky Florida State is.
"Oh,
Present,
yeah."
share screen,
But yeah,
window. Oh,
there's a
I see.
contingent on one side of the street saying, "Oh, Florida State, this might be a good game," and then there's the other contingent that's saying,
That
"Oh my gosh, this is going to be a burial.
you're
Alabama's
cooked.
going to win by 55. Florida State might not be on the end zone."
I
So
will say this is. Can you see what I'm showing?
yeah, I can see that.
All right, bro. They are lucky. This is their next 3 games after Alabama, because Mike Norvell would have been fired. But then you
Oh,
got
yeah,
this right here, and that's gonna probably be a beatdown too.
more than likely. More than likely.
This
We got to see.
schedule is so Mickey Mouse. Oh my god, this might be the most Mickey Mouse schedule I've ever seen.
Well, dude, it's the ACC. The toughest games on there are Alabama, Clemson. Hell, we'll see, but Florida and Miami.
Man, this might be the worst NBA draft ever. They rigged it for San Antonio and Dallas to get the top 2 picks. Like Wemby needs more help. Dylan Harper went 2. Not surprising. I already knew that was coming, but I'm just salty about it.
I thought we were quite a ways in the draft. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'll say this to give some people inspiration about Florida State. Now, we didn't expect Florida State to be worth anything in 2022. Look what happened. We expected more from them in 2023. Look what happened. I think everybody put them on this giant pedestal in 2024, and it fell off. So, I mean, honestly, I can tell you, I don't know what to expect from Florida State this year. With the transfer portal and everything, I don't know what to expect from them. This is one of those I don't know years. I just don't know. All right, one last thing before we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are we missing college football out there? Because for me, it's a 10. I just got done watching.
I'm not missing it. I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not dying for it yet. If that makes sense.
I just got done watching the Alabama LSU national championship game from 2011. When I tell you, like, that was a straight up physical, like, beat down by Alabama. Like, it was a physical beat down. But yeah, like, already. But I mean, we got people out here talking about, stadium intensity because of college football 26. We got people out here talking about what's a tough, which one is much more difficult because of proximity to Power 5 schools between the SWAC and the MEAC. Like this, I'm sitting here. I'm like, this is where we're at now. I'm like, this is where we're at now because we have nothing to talk about. Wait,
FSU has a similar season. Is the head coach Mike Norvell out? Yeah, Mike Norvell. If they get blown out by Alabama and Miami, yeah, he's gone. He might survive to the end of the year, but he's gone no matter what. If they don't even make a bowl game.
Wait, bring up that schedule again, Ace. Actually.
Yeah. Give me this.
Here we go. Scroll up.
Yeah, 1 minute. I gotta go to the tab.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you now, if they lose to Alabama, they need to be 3-1 by the time they get to Miami.
And Virginia, they could easily lose to Virginia too.
Oh, I know, yeah, because that's in Virginia. That's in Charlottesville.
Yeah, and you got Pitt. Pitt's never been a slouch. Stanford might be decent. Stanford's off and on.
They should beat Stanford. Homecoming is against Wake Forest. Honestly, let's see.
Clemson.
So I'm gonna
this might be like the most Mickey Mouse schedule though. Holy crap.
I'm gonna be generous and say they beat West Virginia, or not West Virginia. They beat Virginia. So what's that? 3.
I don't think they beat Virginia Tech.
Oh no. I think they can beat NC. Is that on the road or is that in Tallahassee? That's on the road.
Yeah, that's in North Carolina.
Okay, they're losing that one. Okay, so I'm gonna say they can win 3. They beat Stanford 4. You know what? I'm gonna be generous and say they beat Pitt 5. 5-7. Yeah, Mike Norvell probably. Mike Norvell's probably gone by after the Florida game if that happens. If they lose, if like they just lose, go 5-7, gone. The only question is who do you go get?
Huh? Who are you going for Pitt?
No, I'm saying who do you go get if Mike Norvell goes 5-7 and gets fired?
Go on your knees, beg for Dion, and say, "We're so sorry. We'll give you $100 million."
But see now, and here's this thing. Here's that part about Dion. Let's say Dion disappoints this year with Travis Hunter and Shador gone. Let's say he just disappoints. Let's say Colorado wins maybe 16, not 16, something NFL. Let's say Colorado wins 6 games, 7 games this year. Then what? Do you still bet on Dion? Because then it's like, oh my gosh, like who do we turn to? Because we don't want a 6-7 win coach. Or what did he win? 9 games last year, Dion? What was it? Let me see. How many games did Colorado won last year? What was that record? Standings. So, geez, it doesn't even show the standings. Golly. Okay, so yeah, they were.
Would bring hype back to FSU, but he hasn't proven he can win the big games, especially postseason.
This is true. This is true. And that's why I sound like, what if he wins 6 or 7 games this year in the Big 12, Dion? And then what do you do if you're Florida State? I mean, yeah, he's going to put butts in seats. He's going to bring a lot of media attention to Tallahassee. Now, then again, you know what? It also could work in the fact that you can get Florida kids and kids in your South Georgia pipeline and Alabama, Texas. You can get kids to Florida State easier than you can to Colorado. That's the one factor that is working in his favor. Because it's like when Darius Fagan was on here when we spoke with him, what was it, 2 years ago? And he was saying, you know, if Dion walks in your house or if Dion recruits you, who's going to tell him no? Especially from Florida. Because think about it, that's how he got Jimmy Horn out to Colorado. Think about it. That's why USF was going after him. They just couldn't afford him.
Ooh, they said the Chicago Bulls are looking to trade either Lonzo Ball or Kobe White.
Get rid of Lonzo. But I mean, yeah,
just paid Lonzo though, so that's kind of weird.
Oh well, but yeah, no. Ashton brings up a good point though, and it's a lot to think about. State, so it's like it's a tough decision because it's like I don't know who's out there still that you can go get that can bring you sustained success, but it has to be someone that can work the transfer.
Well, it was never Mike Norvell. It was Mike Norvell's success was never sustained. It was Jordan Travis.
Oh yes. That's why I think all the cards are on the table with Thomas Castellanos.
76ers take VJ Edgecombe at 3.
Speaking of the NBA, we can go ahead and get into that now. The NBA's got its own separate little entity tonight, folks. I know you see the Jordan and Kobe matchup in the background.
You can't really, but...
Oh, well. But, nevertheless, so... how the draft is shaking out so far.
First 3 picks were Flag, Harper, Edgecombe. Not surprised. For those 3, this is what the draft starts now. Who the hell Charlotte's taking at 4? This might be the most rigged draft, top 3 wise, that I've ever seen. Since in our lifetime, I can safely say this is probably the most rigged draft. Should have been no way Dallas and San Antonio should have got the top 2 picks.
But my thing is
you gotta get Wemby as help. Well, I mean, Wemby needs a super team, so Adam Silver's got to bail him out.
Okay, maybe I'm just 8 years old, but I did not know the NBA only had 2 rounds.
It's only been 2 rounds. They only have 15 roster spots.
Okay, that makes
13 regulars and two two-ways.
I'm tripping. That makes sense. Okay, but yeah, Charlotte is on the clock.
Man,
Honestly,
Sham's not even spoiling the draft, bro. This is not even fun.
it's
We have
crazy.
to go
'Cause
watch
it's
ESPN's terrible coverage. This is my
like,
man. ESPN used to have like Jalen Rose and them boys on there. Now it's just like
I can't see. The thing is after the fifth pick, this all gets like fishy to me because then it's like guys start getting traded here and there and stuff after they just got selected. But
no. Well,
plus,
it's kind of weird to say because like they can always like Philadelphia can easily trade this pick to Washington if they wanted to. Like if they wanted to dump Paul George, they could just trade Edgecombe with it.
see, and that's the thing.
But
It's like you just drafted him, but why would you trade him?
because they want something else. Like, yo, Ace, is the Magic ever gonna get back to the finals and actually win? I hope so. They better win in the next 4 years.
25th pick. Who we taking at 25, Ace?
Man, I would trade 25 and go up and go get Walter Clayton. Like trade up, but they won't do it.
I mean, but what are the chances he may fall to 25?
He ain't getting past Miami, which sucks.
You know what? Hey, you're right because you know what? The Heat love themselves some Gator players because remember Udonis Haslem played down there his whole career. So
It's
it's
annoying.
like
I don't want him going Miami, but he's gonna go Miami, and I'm gonna be annoyed.
you're gonna have to do something
Oh,
to get in
Charlotte's
front of
picking right now,
You have to do something to get in front of
or not?
Miami. Maybe trade with the Nets possibly, who are at 19.
I was thinking the Nets, but this is gonna be weird. This draft is going so slow. We don't have Shan spoiling picks, so I'm kind of like Boston. Oh, I hope Boston got a point with all these. I think they do. They look like they're kind of like in a reloaded type of year. They're dumping the cap, getting under the second apron, saving 180 million in tax. So that's gonna be big for them. At this point, I don't think they're trading Jaylen Brown, but you never know. Things can change in the next couple of hours. Like if they say like, let's say Utah takes somebody they really like, and they say Utah calls them and say, "Hey, we'll give you like I don't know, Ace Bailey, Laurie Markkinen, and maybe a guy like Keontae George or Walker Kessler, and we'll give you a couple more future first round picks for Jaylen Brown."
Jeez, the
That could
Knicks have
happen.
not the Knicks. The Nets have no excuse, dude. They got what's this one?
They have 1/6 of the draft, bro. They have 5 first round picks.
Wait, 1, 2.
Yeah, they have 5 first.
3, 4. I'm counting 4, unless I'm tripping.
Hey, I will say this though, Brooklyn,
4. Yeah, I'm counting 4.
Brooklyn, Sean Marks. I will say this: Sean Marks is really good at getting draft picks, man. Remember, he took over the Nets after the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade disaster.
Mm-hmm.
That team over when they had no assets. Took them a couple years. They got pieces. Then they got KD, Kyrie. They traded for Harden. Then they traded out Harden. Got a couple more picks. And they traded out KD. Then they traded out Kyrie. And then they, got more picks back and they've done reloading again. So it'll be interesting to see what the Knicks, or not the Knicks, the Nets are. Another one I saw, Jason Kidd wants to be the coach of the New York Knicks. And I thought that was interesting because the Mavs, that speaks to a lot to the state of the Dallas Maverick organization. When you got Jared Dudley's going to the Cavs. Jared Dudley was an assistant on the Mavericks, right? He's going to the Cavs. They were talking about that. He's going to the Cavs. He was with Kenny Atkinson in Brooklyn in those days that I was referring to earlier. You have Sham God, who's going probably to the Magic. So that's 2 assistants already leaving. You have your head coach wanting to go to the Knicks, and you had the number 1 pick. So that speaks more to the state of that franchise where no coach wants to be there right now.
Right. Yeah, I
And
mean,
the NBA gifted you the number 1 overall pick.
because didn't the Mavericks block that interview initially?
No, they blocked the interview, but if he wants to go there, because he's on his last year of his deal, he's a free, like, his contract expires.
Right.
So, like, if he really wanted to, he could just resign and take the Knicks job.
True.
I don't see why he can't do that.
Now the thing I have with the Knicks is it shouldn't be taking you this long. You are supposed, if you're gonna fire a guy that's been getting you to the playoffs year after year after year, you have to.
I don't have any issue firing Tibbs. There's good options out there.
True. I mean, the good options have to want you, and I mean instantly want you.
Well, I think they're holding out for Jason Kidd right now because they already interviewed Michael Malone.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't fault them for that one. But the other thing that happened too is, speaking of trades, so we wait for this pick to come in for the Charlotte Hornets. KD make Houston an instant championship contender. Gotta be honest.
No.
I'm glad you see it my way. Too old. Bad hair. Cornfield for hair. Let me stop. Go ahead, find it.
I'm not finding that. I'm not saying that Hornets pick is in. Let's see who it is. 2 seconds.
But yeah, I'm like Ace, man. I don't think the KD.
Who? Oh wait, that's the Duke guy. Okay, it's the nipple guy, Con Nipple.
I thought you said nipple. I was about to say.
No, I said what I said. Don't worry, I said it. Yeah, Con Nipple is going number 4 to Charlotte. That's a very interesting pick. Ace Bailey's forcing himself to fall. He's trying to be like Shadur, bro.
Jazz got the next pick at 5.
Let's see if they trade it. But it's gonna be interesting. That's I didn't think he was good enough to be that high up in the thing, but he did was ACC tournament MVP. So, Lamelo, Kneppel, Miller. I don't know if they're trading Mark Williams, but that's a pick right there. I don't know, bro. I'm not a fan of that pick. I'm gonna be real.
I mean, you also have to remember it's the Hornets.
That feels like a role player type pick, but then again, that might just be like you think he's a role player and then he just comes shooting lights out. But
hey, I never know. But
yeah. I wonder who's gonna jump on the Houston bandwagon. People will. I won't lie. People will for sure because KD thing. They needed the scoring in the playoffs. They have a good defense. Amen Thompson, I think, is going to be a defensive monster for sure. He might average 15 next year. So 15 points per game on being one of the best top 4 defender in the league. That's not bad. You have Van Vliet's coming back on a 2-year, $50 million deal. So, that's going to be a move there for Fred VanVleet being your starting point guard in 2025, but he has his moments. So,
well, they finished second best record in the West.
No, there was reason for that. Let's be real. Nobody thought the Houston Rockets were the second best team. Were the actual second best team in the West.
That's also true. I really didn't think they were going to make it.
So, you've had a lot of teams with a lot of injuries. Like, Denver was missing guys all year. The Clippers didn't get Kawhi until late. You got Minnesota took a second to click.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Golden State had their own fair share of problems, but Golden State went in there and beat them up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to get on that bandwagon. It is. Also, the other thing that happened was, the Thunder went out there and they won. They finally got over the hump. Speaking of KD.
Nobody cares. I cared more. I felt, let me be real. I know I said it last week. And I was kind of sad about it being true, but I knew Halliburton was playing a dangerous game on that, playing with that calf. We both knew it. And I felt sick when he fell there, bro. I was like, shit. You knew he was done at that.
That brings up a good point for towards the end of this.
Bro, let's be real. Like, your finals MVP had 27 points or 28 points on 27 shots, and he had like over 12 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
The man shot terrible.
Yeah. So let me ask you this now: will the Thunder repeat, or do we see a new champion for the 8th straight year? We haven't had a repeat champion since, I think, what was it, 2018? They said. Because I know, yeah, it's like 2019 was the Raptors, 2020 was the Lakers, 2021 was, who was it?
21 was
Milwaukee. Yes, that's it. And then
no, I think we're gonna get a different team next year.
Wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me.
Oklahoma City was an Aaron Gordon hamstring away from me not even getting out of the second round. Let's be real. They kind of got really lucky on that. Oh, and then dude, remember, Ant hurt his leg too, so you got to keep that one in mind too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there was a lot of injuries caught up with a lot of teams that prevented them from winning series against Thunder.
But OKC was the healthiest team. They had no major injuries in the playoffs, so
this is true.
Sometimes it is the luck that comes with it. We know everybody's always beat up, but OKC had no injuries. That also doesn't help. Well, I guess J-Dub, they said he had a wrist injury, but they trying to push that. When I say injuries, I mean guys who could not go at all.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I know what you mean. Yeah, I was rooting so hard for the Timberwolves to beat the Thunder, but it was like once I saw that, and I'm like, they play good defense. They're the healthiest. They're gonna win this whole thing. I just had a feeling. I know most of us said Thunder in 6 or 7. Most of us said in 6, but it went 7. Not shocking. But the other thing too, that now that we speak of injuries, we need to be very careful of how loosely we use this term going forward.
Which term?
The term right here on the screen, because this is part of the problem.
Guys' bodies can't take the full wear. They need to rest some more.
Bingo.
But it's not really the body per se. I was reading some research articles on it. It's pretty valid. Think of it, Kobe's shoes, right? Remember how Kobe wore low-cut shoes, right? Mm-hmm. That was like the first dude noticeable that tore his Achilles.
Yes. And
like he wore low cuts, right? Tatum, he's not a high cut. His Tatum shoes, the new ones, are lower cut than the Tatum ones were. Dame Lillard, his Dame ones, or Dame, whatever he's on now, his Dame line is low cut shoes, right? Tyrese Halliburton was wearing a low cut Puma shoe. And they were saying low cut shoes. Hold on, we got the Jazz pick in. Let's see.
Ace Bailey.
Oh, Ace Bailey goes to the Jazz. I guess.
So it's been basically all Rutgers and Duke guys.
Pretty much.
Wow, who would have thought?
I think they're trading that pick.
But yeah, no, what you're saying makes sense, man. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know why Kobe started that, but like I don't know why. I never felt like wearing low cut shoes in basketball made any type of sense. Anyway, never.
I remember. I was wearing the PG3s. If you remember those those were his best ones. I thought the PG2s were good too, and the PG1s. But the PG3 was a low cut one. Mm-hmm. Man, I was super in that back in high school days, bro. I was having a lot of foot problems with that. That was the only issue with it. Like, sometimes you just be feeling like your Achilles ready to just like so tight, and you're like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah,
But
no, I mean, there's a way
like
to
they said, it's
work
like a
out.
whole 10% difference in the load when you have low cut shoes to high top shoes. Like they said, high top shoes like it helps take some of the load off your foot.
Yeah, it stabilizes. It stabilizes the ankle. It
Mm-hmm.
stabilizes everything, holds everything in place. When you feel like you're about to bend a certain way with your leg, it
It holds
holds
it.
everything.
It's like
Like
wearing
this
a
is
brace.
exactly like you can't just wear. You can't like that's why Steph Curry, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wears high top shoes. You
Yeah,
can't
his
just go out
Steph
there.
Curry line is covers the full ankle. LeBron shoes cover the full ankle. Actually, the Air Jordan, I believe they're on 39 now or 40. I'm not
I've
sure.
never seen
It's been a
Jordan.
minute.
Every Jordan shoe covers the ankle. Every
Yep.
single. I'm no. Well, you know what? No, I lied. There is one brand that like, or not one brand. There's one.
They have different lines of it, but the main Air Jordan line covers the ankle.
Exactly.
Like you remember
And
the LeBron, I want to say it was 6. The one he had in Miami. That one was like a full ankle cover. That one had like a strap on the ankle and all that. Westbrook wore high tops. His Westbrook line, those covered the ankle. KD shoes covered the ankle. Well, they started off covering the ankle. They progressively got lower, and well, we know what happened with him.
exactly.
I'm trying to think who else has shoe lines,
Shaq
but
did. Like when you're a five like that, you gotta have high tops. You got to. But I mean, shoes aside, I mean, look, there's an element when it comes to working out, taking care of your body, recovering. Yes, all of this is true, but at the same time, too, we need to factor in the fact that a lot of these guys, for example, this whole list right here, not going to read off every single one. ACL, that's one thing, but most of these, matter of fact, 75% of these are Achilles tears or ruptured Achilles. So, like, again, how you work out, how you recover, how you rest. And mind you, this newer generation, you're playing 70, not 75, you're playing like 3 days worth of basically AAU tournaments and then practicing. Not to mention, you're probably playing another sport as well when you're young like that. Like that adds up on the body. You're going every day. You're the only rest you're getting is probably the 9 hours you're supposed to be sleeping if you're getting the 9 hours. Plus, factor in too, how many of these guys are taking care of their bodies the way they really should be? Who's going to the cold tub? Who's getting the ultrasound treatment? Who's going?
now to be fair, ACLs are kind of fluky because like you could be running and you get bumped off your mark in a certain angle. The
Yeah, I mean
ACL
that's a
just gives. It doesn't really matter how good you take care of yourself.
yeah. Now that's a non-contact injury, but they normally say like make sure you keep the quad strengthened when you do this, or when you're dealing with ACL tears. Like strengthening the quad is key, but those Achilles tears, again, it comes down to the shoe. It also comes down to the mileage you put on yourself. Simply put, all of it.
Somebody said, "Congrats to the Hornets for not for acquiring their first non-felon in 15 years."
Not felon in 15 years. Wait,
He's
what?
trolling on them, but remember Brandon Miller had the whole issues with Alabama. You had LaMelo. He's gotten his own fair share of legal trouble. Miles Bridges.
Sheesh.
Hornets have been terribly run. Let's be real. But
Oh,
yeah, for this, the amount of leg injuries this year, I feel like have been more. Like I feel like in that 56 game season, the COVID season, whatever it was,
mm-hmm.
I feel like there was like a lower amount.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel calf strains are going to become a shutdown injury. Like if you have a calf strain, teams aren't going to let you play. But
Right.
I have a feeling Indiana knew there was a very good risk, and I think Halliburton knew it too because you could see it on his face. He's like, ah, crap. What they told
Yeah.
me was there was a chance it could happen, and it did happen. Because remember, as soon as the Halliburton calf strain news broke, like less than an hour later, it got announced Indiana traded for the 2026 first round pick back from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So Indiana's like, there's a legitimate chance he might tear his Achilles and he might not be back next year. We need our first round pick back.
Yeah. Which, do they have it? Oh, you said 2026. I'm tripping. Okay.
Yeah, they got their first pick back.
Okay. But yeah, dude, this is. I mean, honestly, the one thing I would hate to see is, I mean, granted, it's not as extreme, but I feel like it's about to be. I feel like the Achilles injury is going to become about as common as, say, Tommy John surgery amongst pitchers in Major League Baseball. The only thing is, this Achilles injuries are not going to be like a death sentence, like how Tommy John.
They kind of are still in the NBA. They are. Like KD got away with it because KD was a shooter.
This is true.
Like when guys tear their Achilles, they don't come back the same.
Which makes me worry for Halliburton. It also makes me
and
worry
Tatum. And
Tatum makes me worry for Lillard.
Dame, I think, might be just straight up cooked. Dame might just have to be like a 6-man, just shoot it kind of thing, not be explosive. It takes a lot of explosiveness out.
Well, yeah, now that you put it that way, yeah, it might be about as bad as Tommy John surgery for pitchers, because when pitchers come back from Tommy John surgery, like they're not the same. They're not. Some are. Some are. Some not so much. I've seen people who get Tommy John surgery before. It's not pretty. It's pretty disgusting to look at, the post-surgery look of it. So, I do hate to say it. I think it is going to become more common because guys are going to probably be wearing low-cut shoes. Guys aren't going to, recover. You have
They might change.
They might. But I mean, again, you got
the Wizards take Trey Johnson to the Wizards. Ooh, I like that. You go from Poole to Trey Johnson. That's a good move. He's a good shooter. I like him with Bub Carrington. That's a good move. I like it.
Finally.
That might be my favorite pick of the draft right now. I like what the Wizards got going.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they go back to wearing high cut shoes. I mean, I feel like it's common sense. Me personally, if I'm even playing pickup basketball or anything, I'm not stepping foot on a basketball court until I know I've got high cut shoes on, supporting my ankle. I just know it. Like couldn't be me, but nevertheless. All right, let's go here and get into hot topics now. We'll keep the.
Interesting. What I saw was the LA Kings. Their GM had said they are willing to trade their first round pick for a top 9 forward, and that got me thinking. The LA Kings want to get a top 9 forward.
Mm-hmm.
And they're misusing their top young defenseman. I'm like, who's a team that could use a first round pick and a defenseman? And the Lightning, they got a lot of guys. Some of them aren't that good. I'd say call them and say, hey, you want Bjorkstrand or Nick Paul? We'll give you give me 24 and Brant Clark, and we'll give you Isaac Howard on top of that. That little crybaby.
When you said Kings, I really thought you meant Sacramento Kings, and
no, not Sacramento's a dumpster fire. Oh my god, do you want to get into that? I could get into Sacramento. I could lay into Sacramento right now.
I had to backtrack and be like, wait, he's talking about the LA Kings, because when you said Bjorkstrand, I was like,
well, we're in hot topics, so I was talking about LA. My bad.
You're good. Because you got. That's perfectly fine. I was thinking, I was like, is he talking about the LA Kings or is he talking about the Sacramento Kings? I was like, which California Kings is he talking about? But I got you. Keep going.
Yeah, so the Lightning need a top young defenseman because they have no young defensemen who are actually good, who can actually move a puck. And they need a lot of young players in their pool back that are decent. So I'm like, you got some aging guys in your top 9. Like, Gensel Kucherov point, untouchable. We already know that. Hagel, probably untouchable. Sorelli, maybe. I don't know. I think Sorelli, it might take a good offer as we're coming into draft week. Well, this is draft week, and draft's coming up in 4 days now. Today's
Yeah.
Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday starts Saturday, I believe. So 3 days. It would not shock me if the Lightning make a deal to get younger on the defensive side.
Rightfully so. They should.
I expect Isaac Howard to get dealt. A little crybaby. I expect him to be dealt. They could use some assets. I think you're going to be seeing a very interesting thing, and we know they're aggressive always in free agency, so they might try to free up some cap space, move around money to get somebody they really like.
Doable. That's what I would do. Anything to kind of get back into the fold, because I mean, right now, I hate to say it, you're behind Florida.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think Florida's gonna win it again, but you got to do something to get back in front of Florida, because that's the standard in hockey right now. So you got to do something to get back in front of those guys. Also, too, NASCAR Cup Series that's Atlanta this weekend. William Byron leads total points. Kyle Larson second. Denny Hamlin's third. So, also, I read something interesting before we get to take it or leave it. I read two things interesting. The first thing was Aaron Rodgers said that this may be his last season. So he took time to think about it. He also got married this offseason. He said, what a better way to end it than to do it with one of the more storied franchises in the league. So, right off the rip, will this be it for Rodgers?
he said it is. Yeah.
Hopefully it is, because I don't want him to keep doing this Brett Favre act and keep on. Well, he might try to just put himself on par with Brett Favre.
They said he got married.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once he retires this year, you probably will never hear from Rodgers again. He'll just disappear off the face of the planet. He'll just go live in some nowhere land woods.
Of course, not until it's time to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
That's probably the next time you'll hear from him again. But hopefully this is it for him. But yeah, something else interesting happened too. JP Peterson put out that the new ownership for the Rays would, in fact, put more funding back into the team. So I got it right here. Had another meeting today with a potential buyer of Rays baseball and cannot disclose much, but I will say this. Imagine what Eric Neander could do with a $150 million payroll. We wouldn't touch the baseball operations side of the Rays, just give them more to work with. Said for years, Stu Sternberg has pocketed tens of millions that could have been put back into the payroll. Whoever buys this team, those days are over. So, what was that number again that you said? Wait, let's look it up. I need to see what that number was again, because we were talking about payrolls for the highest payrolls in Major League Baseball. I need to see this. So, the Mets currently have the highest payroll. It's $323.1 million. Dodgers are 321.3. And then the Yankees are 293.5. And the Phillies are 284.2. So, I mean, would 150 million put the Rays right up there? Crazy enough.
I feel like the Rays, with the average MLB payroll, like spending wise, not like paying guys like thing, but like using money for either facility, stadium, food, treatment, all that kind of stuff, right? Just doing average of that, they could win a championship.
Yeah. So right
what are
now,
the Pelicans doing? I have no idea what the Pelicans are doing. Bruh, your guard room is like, what are you doing? You got Poole. You literally just traded for Poole, not even 48 hours ago. You had traded however many picks it was for DeJounte Murray last offseason. You have Jose Alvarado. You have Jeremiah Fears now. You were like, what are we doing here, man? Like,
21 and
jeez,
16, or no, 21 and 61. 21 and
bruh.
61. They are. This is why they are what they are.
Like as our boy AP be saying, man, the Pels are the Browns of the NBA.
There you have it. There you have
Resident comment AP boy AP be saying, and he be right, bro. Nah, they're the actual Browns of the NBA, bro. I have no idea what are y'all doing? Poor Fears. Fears was one of my favorite prospects coming out. But New Orleans might dead seriously. I'm not even joking. Might be the worst spot.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
Unless they're trading the pick, I don't get it. That makes no sense. He's gonna need like a year to season to be before he's gonna be a star. But I think he has superstar potential. It's just like you got DeJounte. You're paying between DeJounte and Jordan Poole. You're about over $60 million in cap space right there. You're paying $60 million between those two guys alone next season. Trey Murphy's extension kicks in next year, so he's about $30 million. Zion's at like almost 40. Like what we doing here, man? You gotta be trading DeJounte Murray. I know DeJounte wants out. That I know that's a fact. He wants out. But
this is hilarious.
I mean, Fears and Poole. If it's just like Fears, Poole, Trey Murphy, Zion, Eves, Missy, I'd say okay, that makes sense. But having DeJounte there, Jose Alvarado's there, unless you're trading both those two guys, I don't see the vision. Unless you're trading Zion too, and you're just fully reloading it, you're gonna just put it around Poole and Fears, and then figure everything else out later. It's like if you're trading Zion to the Warriors or something, you're getting back Kuminga. Even then, I don't like Kuminga because all he does is score, and he doesn't do anything else on the court. He's kind of like useless, very one dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Pels, bro. What the hell y'all doing?
All right, so like you were saying though, I'm looking at it right here. If the Rays were to go to 150 million in their payroll, it would put them at 16th above the Seattle Mariners, who have 146 million. And it would put them behind the Orioles, who right now they're a better team than them, who are at 160.
Ace Bailey didn't want to go to the Jazz, and they still drafted him. Oh yeah, he's getting traded.
Doesn't shock me. I mean, who wants to go to Utah? Let's be real, especially play basketball. But yeah, I mean, if the Rays were to increase their payroll, which I mean that doesn't shock me now hearing about Stu basically profiting and taking.
Yo, Peeps.
What's up?
Read this.
I know y'all ain't Yankee fans, but it's time for Steinbrenner to sell the team. Oh, ooh. Honestly, I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think that family.
Nah. I mean, we're seeing a lot of guys are selling teams now, so you never know. So who would have ever thought the Buss family would sell the Lakers or the Celtics would ever get sold? So I believe the Red Sox got sold recently too, if I'm not mistaken. So you never know.
So looking at it right here, George Steinbrenner bought the Yankees in 1973 for $10 million. His family currently owns the team still because he died in 2010. So, and wow, and as of 2021, George Steinbrenner's group buys the Yankees from CBS. So, yeah, they wow, okay. They bought them from CBS, which owned the team since 1964. So it was a 12-member group led by George Steinbrenner. Okay, yeah, this was published in 2021, but okay, I'm trying to see now. This is it. Okay. Huh. Interesting. That's from the history.com. Oh, okay, that's from history.com. That's what he did back in '73. Okay, I'm caught up now. But yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like certain families, like Jerry Jones's family, like his children, grandchildren are going to inherit the Cowboys. They probably may never sell. Who's
The
another famous?
Magic just changed their ownership thing where they're having the kids are starting to take more of a role in it, and the parents are
Mhm.
phasing out or something. They want to keep it in the family, even though the DeVos are terrible people.
Mhm.
They just won't sell that team. Now, that's
Yeah.
somebody who needs to sell the team. But new ownership, yeah, I think it would bring a higher payroll. Stu was generationally cheap.
Oh,
He
dude,
was literally using the raise for a tax deductible, and that was pretty much it. He did not care.
it's funny. It's funny how things work around here. Like when the Bucks first came in, they had Hugh Culverhouse, who was super cheap. Didn't want to pay Doug Williams, even though he got you to an NFC Championship. Then he dies. Glazers take over. Glazers run the ship a whole lot better. Then they sell Manchester U, put more emphasis on the Bucks, and now look what we've got. Lightning. Jeff Bennick buys the Lightning. Well-run organization. Rays. Look what's getting ready to change there. But I don't think George Steinbrenner is going to sell that team, man. Or the
That's
Steinbrenner
Dixon.
family. Because
Igor Demin.
let's see. Wait a minute. I need to pull it up here.
Oh, Yegor Demin.
How many of those?
BYU.
Let me see. How many of those championships do the Yankees actually? Oh wow, he died here in Tampa. Wow. Oh, wow.
Who?
George Steinbrenner. He was 80 years old when he died.
Yeah, and now White Field named after him down here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the Yankees have 27 World Series. He bought the team in 73, so 77, 78, 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven. So the Yankees were stuck at 27 World Series titles when he bought the team. It had been over a decade since their last World Series when he bought them. Now, again, here we are. And granted, things are different now in baseball than they were back when he bought the team. You have a pitch clock now. There's certain things you can't do anymore. And also too, I think that if they'd have played anybody else, and I'm sure you would agree with me, Ace, if the Yankees had played anybody else in that World Series last year, other than the Dodgers, I think the Yankees would have had number 28.
That's true. That is true.
And then at the same time, it's like right now they do lead the East. I don't know, but they lead it by one game. The Rays are one game back. Speak of the devil. So, I mean, who's to say the Yankees can't do it again? Personally, I mean, I'd be cool if Rays ended up doing it in the spring training site of the Yankees, which would be absolutely hilarious. But who knows? But I don't. We'll see what happens. I don't think they'll sell though. But again, like you said, Ace. I mean, who expected the Bus family to sell? So never say never. I do think that if they want to have another dynasty type run, they got to find a way to, start outbidding the Dodgers for people. That's priority number one. But I mean, LA is more attractive than New York these days, too.
Both are. I'm not saying it.
Nah, go ahead and say it.
Well, I don't think either one are going to win anything. Well, the LA's got the Dodgers, but other than that, I don't think the Rams are winning. Chargers aren't winning. Lakers, well, unless they paid off Adam Silver, probably not. I think LeBron might be going to the Cavs or somebody. East wide open. The Kings won't. Kings are the Oilers' little son, so they're not doing that. Angels, not really. I'm forgetting anybody.
Let's see. You named
Clippers. Obviously, they're not winning nothing.
Let's see. I've had that.
Knicks, not winning nothing.
Knicks.
Rangers, not winning anything.
Oh, yeah.
Islanders, probably not. They disaster. Who else? Jets, no. Giants, definitely not. Bills, probably not. Maybe.
Mets could.
Mets, maybe, potentially. Yankees probably have the best chance.
Yeah, no, I think they do. I mean, think about it, hey, we were one series away from possibly getting the Subway Series for the World Series a year ago too.
That is true.
So
that would have been crazy. I would have preferred that over
cross country matchup that got out of hand super quick. So we'll see. My thing is right now, I mean, personally, I would love to see the Yankees blow this, which actually leads into take it or leave it for tonight before we get out of here. I guess I was going to save it for the end, but I guess I'll start off with it now. Take it or leave it. The Rays will get to 90 wins before the Yankees. So right now, the Yankees are.
Yeah, Rays been cooking. I think I'll take that. Rays been cooking.
I was going to say they're about the same distance out.
Yeah, but the Rays been hot.
Yeah, they have. Rays are 44-35 right now, one game back for the lead. Yankees are 45-34 right now, leading the division. Yeah, both are close, man. Both are close. In the last 10 games, the Rays are 7-3, the Yankees are 3-7. So there's that. Also, let's see. Wait, what happened now?
Nets fans hate the Yegor Demon pick.
I'm sure they do. I'll bet.
They said, cool, tall, and can pass. Can't do anything out of structure. Can't shoot. That is just not an NBA player.
So they wasted one of their 4 picks, apparently. So they say.
Nope, they're off to a great start with those.
I'm curious to see what the Timberwolves do at 17. I'm curious. All right, let's see. I got another one for you, Ace, right here. Where's it at? Take or leave it. The Houston Rockets will be worse next season with the addition of Kevin Durant.
I think they're. I don't think they will be the 2 seed again, but I think they'll be a top 5 seed.
So that's still a regression. So yeah, you take it. Let's see here. What are the other ones we got? Here we go. We are officially in the most boring part of the sports calendar.
Yep.
And then here's this one to end it. Ruptured Achilles tendon will become the new unfortunate norm in basketball.
They were hitting NFL like crazy. I want to say it was 2 years ago.
I remember Richard Sherman had that injury. And
Sherman had that. Remember, the 49ers had like 3 guys who tore either their ACL or their Achilles like back to back to back. In MetLife.
I feel like they were all old guys though too.
No.
Wait,
MetLife was taking ACLs and Achilles like crazy. Steve Smith blew his a couple of years before that.
It was taking
Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, and somebody else on the 49ers blew their leg in MetLife in the same year. And then going by Kirk Cousins, Rodgers, all blew theirs.
I remember
Toronto taking.
I thought those were all ACLs, not Achilles.
I was not expecting this pick. Colin Murray Boyles to the Raptors.
Wait a minute.
That's an interesting pick.
Wait, were those all ACL or were those Achilles tears?
Mix.
It was a mix. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Ooh,
I do remember MetLife being like a graveyard for people's ACLs, not the Achilles so much. But again, I mean, that is crazy. I mean, I've always personally associated it with an old man's injury, but I mean, seeing it now in younger people, it's crazy. It is crazy to see, and it is sad to see because that should not be happening. But again, overuse is a very real thing. All right, let's go wrap this up. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, folks. We hope you've enjoyed this as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Boy, I know, geez, it's crazy doing first. I'm doing this without no NFL and no like HBCU stuff.
Well, nothing really to talk about with that. We did mostly NBA draft. We couldn't even get through, bro. ESPN was so slow. We did the entire show, and they haven't even got to pick. They're now getting to pick 10. Hour and 10 minutes just to do 10 picks. That's pathetic.
That is crazy. Which means that's why they're doing 2 nights of this. Oh my gosh, this draft may not be over till midnight.
They need to hurry this up, man, bro. What start spoiling these picks, bro? This is getting ridiculous.
That's crazy. Yeah, we're not gonna. Oh no! See, 30 picks. I'm gonna be going to bed.
Bro, thank God they're not doing the second round tonight.
Yeah.
And they were saying, oh, there's gonna be all these draft trades. There's gonna be so much trades going down. Giannis will get traded. Zion might get traded, bro. There was like Mikal Bridges might get traded. But they were making it seem like there was gonna be so many trades, bro. This high key's so boring. No trades in the top 10. Beside the Phoenix pick going or Houston trading for Kevin Durant last week. That was literally the only trade in the top 10. That is so boring. And you have to hear the ESPN just yap. Like, nobody cares, ESPN. Stop it. This is why the NBA is struggling.
I was going to say, NBA
you had a terrible
show on the draft?
I'm on ESPN. I'm not on ABC. ABC's worse. You have to hear Stephen A. yap.
Yeah, they got to do something about that.
Jeez. They got to rebrand, bro. I don't know what they doing.
They got to do something about that. But, all right, folks. We appreciate y'all joining us. Don't forget next week's season finale. We're going to get rolling here with some preseason videos. It's up to you here before training camps open up. Before we get out of here, Ace, you got anything?
Keep your phone with notifications on for Shams if you're an NBA fan for the next couple of days until free agency. Because, I'm still holding out hope for these trades. You never know. Boston might make something happen with Jaylen Brown or Derek White. You never know who else might get traded. I don't know. I'm holding out hope. Trades are where the fun is. But, other than that, we're in the dog days of the off season. I mean, half of y'all not hockey fans, so you're not going to care about the NHL draft. And outside of that, there is nothing really. Unless you're a diehard MLB guy who cares about games 70.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
all right,
go outside, touch some grass. I mean, I know it's hot. Go fishing, go hiking, go to the beach. I don't know.
It's pouring right now.
I was pouring about you. It's hot and humid.
Yeah. All right, Ace. Let me go ahead and hit the outro because I got a phone call I gotta take.
Stay safe, stay blessed. See y'all.
Good night.